is brought to you by Local Video Marketing. In association with CoachChic.com.
Hi there, this is Kim Lukhard, Hockey Mom RD, and I would like to share with you 4 tips to use each day to help your skater in their growing years. How much will your skater grow? For a young man between the ages of 12 and 16, they can expect to grow on average 4 inches and gain 40 pounds of muscle. And you can maximize the growth in this window with sports nutrition. Here are 2 separate goalies that I've worked with, Alex when he was 11 on the left and Matthew when he was 18 on the right. Nutrient timing is key, and that is what I used to help my son Robert. When he was 11 and a half years old, he was 4'11" and 74 pounds. By the time he was 17, he was 6 feet and 135 pounds. I taught Robert all about nutrition, how to use nutrient timing, and he worked with a personal trainer from the years 11 years and 9 months to 13 years and 2 months. He added 30 pounds of muscle and he grew 7 inches in height. So tip number 1 to help your skater gain muscle during their growing years is making sure you put an emphasis on meals and snacks. These are very important for growing hockey players. Skipping breakfast can cost them time on the ice. Breakfast provides them with 20 to 22% of their daily calorie intake. And if they need about 3,200 calories a day in season and they skip breakfast, they could lose 640 to 704 calories each day. This will leave them with a tank that's only 3/4 full when they show up for a practice or a game. They will not be able to give 100%. So some quick breakfast ideas include a hard-boiled egg with a piece of fruit and a mini bagel on the side with 8 ounces of low-fat milk, or some cereal with low-fat milk and a piece of fruit. You can put those in their favorite large mug if they're on the go somewhere, or if they have to do some schoolwork at the computer, and have some water on the side. Or you can make a homemade smoothie with 1 cup of milk with a banana, a half a cup strawberries, again, adding a bagel on the side or some toast. These breakfasts are rich in carbohydrates and protein, which will keep your skater focused and feeling good all morning long, and it'll get their body started gaining the nutrients they need for their afternoon practice. Tip number 2, help them build strong bones. Don't skimp on calcium-rich foods. Think about adding almonds, broccoli, tofu, bok choy, yogurt, milk, or a cow's milk alternative, poppy seeds and chia seeds to their daily meal plan. And consume vitamin D-rich foods like cheese, eggs, and fatty fish. I find a lot of my skaters like salmon. Sleep is tip number 3. Did you know your skater wakes up taller every morning? Now it's just a little bit, but they are growing when they are sleeping. Your skater needs about 8.5 to 9.25 hours a night. And this is going to vary based on their physical activity and their growth patterns. Have you ever seen your skaters sleep 12 hours after a long day at school and hockey practices, especially maybe when they're about 14 or 15 years old? They will rack in the sleep time. Unfortunately, teenagers are night owls by nature. Their melatonin is not secreted in their body till around 11 p.m. So this makes it difficult for them to unwind easily. So a trick I used to use is to tell my sons that if they wanted to be taller than me, I'm 5'10", they needed to get their sleep. And it worked on most nights. Something you can use for a nighttime snack is cherries. If your skater likes these Bing cherries, they are naturally rich in melatonin. So you can keep them in the refrigerator. They can have them with their bedtime snack, and it will help them start to unwind. And speaking of bedtime snacks, if your skater wants to gain muscle, testosterone is secreted in the overnight hours when your skater is sleeping during their growing years. So a bedtime snack can help them increase their muscle while they sleep. A mini bagel with peanut butter or nut butter on it, a low sugar cereal with some low fat cow's milk, or some Greek yogurt with strawberries or blueberries, or even those Bing cherries that you just saw would make a great bedtime snack. If you'd like to learn more about youth ice hockey nutrition, you can visit my website at www.hockeymomrd.com or request to join my Hockey Mom RD's Elite Players Success Group on Facebook. Please don't forget to answer my 2 questions to be approved. And you can email me at kim@hockeymomrd.com with questions about your skaters' hockey nutrition habits. Make it a great day and happy skating till next time. This is Kim Lukhard, Hockey Mom RD.
Make no mistake about it, our sport is all about motion. And I've found that I can unbelievably improve a player's skating, their rhythm, their power, and their efficiency with these exclusive off-ice methods. I can also help older players with their explosive strength, toughness, and conditioning.
Welcome to the band gym, everyone. I want to take you through three ways to go ahead and offset load. And these are three progressive ways that you can go ahead and establish an offset loading program. Why do you want to do it? Very simple. Offset loading is going to address muscle imbalances. It's also going to make our trunk stabilization get much more activated. And it's ultimately, if we're in standing, going to also activate our hips to stabilize as well. Let me take you through three different ways to offset load that are progressive in nature. Number one, just attach a handle on and go to single arm loading. So single arm loading, single arm pulling, by attaching the handle on, you're immediately going ahead and just being able to load one side of the body to the other. Very simple. The drawback of the handle is you can't get the resistance, the force resistance, further away from your center of gravity. Understand that with an offset load, the further the resistance or the force is away from your center of gravity, the more your trunk is going to have to work, the more the offset loading impact is going to be amplified. Let me take you through a second way that you can go ahead and offset load with something very simple, and that is using a towel. So I take the towel and I just slip it through the band. So now I have a little bit longer lever arm. Granted, I could grab the band or the towel right there, and the lever arm is very much the same as the handle. The difference is now the band is going to be outside my shoulder, which is going to place it further away from my center of gravity, which is going to make my trunk work. Now, the nice thing about the towel is it gives you something soft to grasp onto, and it gives you a little bit more versatility in what you can do. You don't just have to work upper body pushing, pulling, pressing. You could also go ahead and place it onto your shoulder and do split squat work. You could take the band over top, or the towel over top, hold it there and do split squat work. And so you can offset load more effectively with the towel. You can also just take the towel, place it out here, and do different things like just stabilize. You could go ahead and try to do reverse lunges, but understand my arm is now an extension of the towel, and I've gone ahead and taken it further away from my center of gravity. So a towel is a nice way to go ahead and create offset loading. The final way is to go ahead and take a PVC pipe, and you've seen me do this before. I'm going to loop the band back and create a double loop. So now I can slide the band or the dowel through the loop and attach it onto the dowel. So now what's great about this, I can place the load significantly further from my center of gravity. And as a result of that, the muscles that I'm training, as well as my trunk, as well as my hips, are going to have to go ahead and work a lot more aggressively. So I can place it there. I could go ahead and place it over top and hold it and work any kind of lower body split squat, a regular squat, a reverse lunge. Just make sure that if you're going to use a PVC pipe and a dowel, understand the tension of your band, how much force the band is demonstrating or creating, and make sure your dowel is strong enough to handle that. There you go. 3 ways to go ahead and create an offset load using band training that's very cost effective, very easy to set up, and highly effective at making your trunk and your stabilizers get busy, which is what offset loading is going to ultimately do.
Darn, but I hate the sounds of parents yelling advice from the stands down to the kids on the ice. Not that I discourage lots of cheering and yelling. It's the advice that bothers me. First, in a fast-paced game like hockey, players have enough masters to please. Of course, there's the coach who should have prepared the kids in practice for how to deal with game situations. And then there's also the need for kids to read the circumstances as they face them, and then to ultimately react to whatever they see. Secondly, I'll suggest that the best players play most of the game according to instinct. Still further in this area, parents have to realize that players can't listen to their directions, process the information, and then react in the right manner. No, if they try to do that, they're always going to be one step behind the real game action. So, parents should cheer on the kids as loudly as possible, but they'll be doing their youngster a huge favor if they try to avoid directing them from the bleachers.
This has been a local video marketing production. We hope you've enjoyed this, and that you've picked up a number of great hockey tips. Please do tell some friends about these shows, and let the contributing coaches know how much you appreciate them.